Man, what's up? Good afternoon, everybody. AW Airwater, welcome to my stream. Welcome. We got lots to talk about. Marvel dropping bombs today. Kevin Feige dropping bombs today. James Gunn dropping bombs today too. Potential bombs to let us know in the future. Okay. A lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff coming from Marvel today, specifically Marvel on the heels of Fantastic Four. This is the future of the MCU Marvel Cinematic Universe. A big change on the horizon for the MCU. The Kevin Feige is kind of confirmed. A big change. It's in the title. I'd like to say hello to anybody who's in the chat. This is afternoon. I'm sorry I'm not doing detracting, but I felt this is really important to talk about. Okay? Really important to talk about, if you ask me. Okay? And make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below. Do all that for me. But this is very important to talk about with MCU. The future of the MCU. Kevin Feige. Variety and Deadline, both of them. We're going to look at both articles. Well, actually, there's three, actually. But Variety in Deadline. And Hollywood Reporter, too. Lot of stuff, man. We're gonna talk about it, man. We're gonna talk about it. I know who's the first. Red's first as usual. My number one fan. You're garbage. You're garbage. No, you end the stream. This is important. Okay. It's very important. So we have to talk about it. Not detracting Jester Bell, I guess, tonight. I feel this is important to talk about tonight. Or this afternoon. Where you are is noon. I know that. Yeah, you are my number one detractor. That's just true. You are. You are my number one. My number one. So welcome to my channel, guys. Don't know who's in my channel. Yeah, say hello besides Red. Sideways, Anthony. Who after 56K? Welcome to my channel. This, I guess, one of the reasons is letting all the stuff out, because there's no Comic-Con, so maybe there's no Comic-Con, so I might as well let the stuff out. Okay. All right. I don't know what to do, man. I guess I'll pull up the variety first. All right. This is a long article. So I'm going to go to best of my knowledge here. The best. Everyone needs to do the opposite of what I say. Yes. All right. So only Peacemaker's be a Comic Con. I just know only Peacemaker is. But all right. Please, no. Listen to Red. Like and subscribe, please. Okay. Right. Oh, let's get rid of this. All right, let's go down. Let's go down and read. Kevin Feige on Marvel Studios' future, focusing on lower budgets, less TV, and more Robert Downey Jr. Look at Superman. It's clearly not superhero fatigue. I am Steve. Angela left you in here as a test to see who would try to break the lock there. Bro, the lock. Okay, well, what the hell does that mean? Okay. Okay. All right, let's get back to the first paragraph. Cyrus says, where is Degrassi? Animation. So listen to Red. Okay. Kevin Feige was teasing a small group of journalists, including from Variety, while sitting at one end of the most storied conference rooms in Hollywood. In the heart of Marvel Studios' offices on the Disney lot in Burbank, he was there to talk about the past, present, and future of the studio. He's led since Robert Downey Jr. declared himself to be Iron Man in 2008. After Marvel's communications chief Angela Shaw brought Feige into the room, he gestured to the opposite wall covered with shutter doors. They are secured with padlock behind them. He explained with a smile are the plans for the next 7 years of the MCU. It's traditionally a 5-year plan, he said. I think it goes to 2032 right now. Though it has been quite 7 years since he's last did this, it's still weird that Feige gives an interview on this length and candor. But after some ice-breaking small talk in which Marvel's chief creative officer shared his thoughts on DC Studios' Superman, more on that in a bit. Feige made clear that he's spending the Friday before the premiere of Fantastic Four First Steps, the 54th entry in the MCU, speaking on record. Okay. We produced 50 hours of stories between 2007 and 2019, Feige said. But in 6 years since Avengers Endgame concluded the Infinity Saga, we had well over 100 hours of stories in half the time. That's too much. In fact, including animation, Marvel's Multiverse Saga spans 127 hours of content. So you admit it. You admit it was too much. People took in too much. People couldn't handle it. You even admit it. After Endgame, Feige said the company entered into a period of experimentation and evolution of the kinds of movies it was making, leading to projects like Eternals and Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings. I've always thought if you take success and don't experiment with it and don't risk it with it, then it's not worth it. Yes. He said, we we also end up focusing on because Disney Plus was expansion. It is that expansion that I think that led people to say, "Oh, it used to be fun, but do I have to know everything about all of these?" Ah, ah. Consequently, Feige believes that the realm Marvel's been facing for the last few years stemmed from an overabundance of supply, not a sudden drop in demand. Look at Superman, he said of all the hit film, which opened 125 million global, no, 125 domestically and has grossed 407 million globally to this day. It's clearly not superhero fatigue, right? Clearly not superhero fatigue. It's red fatigue. It's because of red. No, I'm kidding. It's not because of red. I'm kidding, Red. Don't go at me. Yeah, it's all because of Red. I am Steve. I like it a lot. So Kevin Feige now is talking about Superman. He saw a Superman movie. He likes it, obviously. I like it a lot. Feige added of the DC film. I love you. Just jump right into it. You don't know who Mr. Terrific is. Tough. You'll figure it out. That's fully a fleshed out world. Tough luck. If you don't know who that is, tough luck. As Feige explained, and the DC CEO Robert Iger has also said more than once, Marvel's dramatic increase in volume spread Marvel too thin for its relatively small teams of executives to keep up. Okay. For the first time ever, quantity trumped over quality. Feige said, "We spent 12 years working on the Infinity Saga, saying it's never going to happen to us. We've always had more characters than we possibly make because we weren't going to make a movie. Suddenly there's a mandate to make more, and we go, we'll have to do more." Man, man, sounds like yeah. He sounds tired. He sounds tired. Starting in 2023, the audience began to sour on Marvel's content on the big and small screen. As Variety reported this in June, only 3 of the 22 movies in the Infinity Saga grossed less than 500 million worldwide. Well, only 3? Okay. Since the pandemic, however, 7 of the 13 movies in the MCU have failed to reach that milestone. Okay, what has it got? Marvels, Captain America. Captain America didn't reach it. The Marvels didn't reach it. I don't think Eternals did. Yeah, Thunderbolts did. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Right, have failed to reach that milestone. Viewership for Marvel in streaming shows, meanwhile, has also steady decline according to data from Illuminate. Most recently, Thunderbolts, which earned some of the best reviews and Marvel's received in years, has grossed 380 million. That's true. That's true. That's true. Marvel, yeah. Marvel, yep. That's true. Thunderbolts, I thought was a very, very good movie, Feige said, but nobody knew the title, and many of those characters were from TV show. Some of the audience were still feeling the notion of, I guess I have to see those other shows to understand who this is. If you actually saw the movie, that wouldn't be the case, and we make the movie still that's not the case. But I think we still have to make sure the audience understands that. Maybe you have to get rid of TV shows, or maybe you have to do TV shows off introducing characters, introducing maybe. Maybe you have to do Disney Plus shows with characters that are introduced in the movies first. Maybe that'll generate interest. For Mrs. Iron Man, I don't fucking want the Mrs. Iron Man. No. No. To that end, Feige spent an hour discussing everything from budgets, TV schedules, and when Marvel greenlit a project to when or audience could see Miles Morales, Miss Marvel, or Charlie Theron again. He also provided an update the status of Blade, Marshall Ali, and confirmed widespread speculation that 2027 Avengers Secret Wars will not only conclude this multiverse saga, but provide a reset for the entire MCU, including a new cast for X-Men films. So yeah, like we said, guys, it was obvious. The X-Men are returning from Doomsday. But those are not to be the X-Men going forward in the MCU. I think we all saw that. Phase 5 was an improvement, but Phase 5 had a lot of fails. Phase 4 did better financially. Okay, so yeah. So we're gonna see Doomsday Secret Wars. Those X-Men, the James Marsden. Okay, James Marsden, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen. They're not going to be the X-Men going forward. Okay? It's not going. Okay? They're not going to be reprise the roles going forward once. Okay? So basically saying is, so he's kind of resetting, he's rebooting the universe after Secret Wars. And everything is going to be in a singular universe. So I think that's kind of spoiling the end of Secret Wars. That they're going to create one universe where every character is going to live in. One universe. I've kind of seen this already. The DC animation movies with the Crisis Earth, the 3-parter, they did that already. They kind of did that, actually. They kind of did that. So yeah, I mean, like I said this. They're gonna create. It's gonna end up with creating one universe. I said this. AWO here, Air War Order is a true scooper. I know. And when it happens in 2.5 years to 3 years, y'all come back to credit me, right? Y'all have to all come back to credit me and say I'm the one who said this was gonna happen. AWO knows, okay? AW knows everything. I know everything, guys. I know. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below. Send super chats. Do all that stuff for me, guys. I really appreciate it. Okay? Phase 5 had Deadpool, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Thunderbolts. Yeah, but Phase 4 had just in 2022 alone, all those movies made money. Huge amount of money. In 2022, Doctor Strange almost made $1 billion. Thor: Love and Thunder made $700 million. Black Panther made about $800 million. So 2022 was a good financial year money-wise. And 21 wasn't. Well, 21 was okay. 2021, Phase 4 the first time. Black Widow. It was. I don't know how about that. That did decent. Eternals didn't do well. Shang-Chi did decent for like a newbie character that nobody's heard of. But Spider-Man No Way Home barely, it almost reached $2 billion. So Phase 4 to me did better financially than Phase 5, because if you really think about it, financially it did better. Oh, come on, Red. Light it up a little, buddy. Light it up. All right, let's continue this, guys. Let's continue. 10 people watching. All right. So Marshall Ali. So yeah, we're talking about Marshall Ali. All right, we're gonna get back to Blade. Blade is still happening, guys. Blade is still on top to happen. Okay, we're still playing it. There's still Blade. Blade looks like it's still happening. I mean, I've been saying it's gonna happen. Okay, but let's continue. There will be a lot less TV. While Marvel's future output is slowing down to almost 3 films a year, a pace MCU first reached in 2018, its TV output is cooling off even farther, with often just a single live action show per year, and the shows they do make will have far less overlap with the future films to distribute audiences from expectation that they have to watch everything to follow what's happening in the MCU project. Oh, by the way, Feige cited Marvel's TV shows of 2010s like Daredevil and Jessica Jones on Netflix, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter on ABC, which were produced by a separate, now defunct division of Marvel Entertainment. So they had a 10 years connection to MCU, if at all. Everything to you is dog shit. Okay? I think allowing a TV show to be a TV show is what we're returning to, he said. After the events at the end of Thunderbolts, when most of the population of Manhattan was enveloped in an inky black shroud of depressive nothingness, what affects season 2 of New York City based on Disney Plus series, Kevin Feige had a simple answer. Nope! No. No. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Why am I not surprised? Well, of course not. It's gonna be ignored. It's gonna be ignored in Daredevil. Of course, it's gonna be ignored. Of course, it's gonna be ignored. It's not gonna be important. Of course. Okay. I heard Kevin Feige just found out where you live, Red. It has a sniper ready for you. Watch out. Watch out for insulting him. At the same time, the line between film and TV is not ironclad. John Bernthal will play his Daredevil born again character, the Punisher, in the both upcoming TV special, which is coming out next year, and opposite of Tom Holland's 2026 Spider-Man Brand New Day, which Kevin Feige has confirmed that John Bernthal will be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. That's been confirmed. Well, it's been confirmed a while back, but it's been he confirmed it. Okay. Where's Degrassi? I thought Degrassi's in the DM group. I don't see him here. Where's 56K? Where's my gang? I don't even think I said this to Blinded. I think Blinded is not around. Like, okay. Oh, there's Blinded. He saw it. Okay. Okay. There we go. After I read the articles, I'm gonna invite people. Okay. Because if I invite people in while reading articles, the stream will take forever. Okay. Where we have to have great actors playing great characters. I think it would be fun to see them multiple places, Fahey said, but the output would be much less. The reduction also meant that 2 Marvel TV projects were held over a year after they've been completed. Ironheart with Dominic Thorne. Yes, true. That's been over. That's been complete for like 2 or 3 years, which concluded in early June. Blade's gonna go to theaters. I think Blade will go to theaters. I think they plan for theaters. You block Blinded for what? Yeah. Okay. Wonder Man, which premieres in December, is something Feige is not keen to repeat. I don't like when things sit on shelves, he said. It stinks. The delay especially affected Wonder Man, which follows an aspiring actor played by Abdul Mateen Yaha or something like that, with hidden superpowers as he strives to land the role on a TV series playing a superhero. Feige was wearing a Wonder Woman baseball cap, pointing out that Marvel made the show before HBO Max 24 comic book movie stand up the franchise, or Apple's TV 2025 Hollywood satire the studio. But it looks like they're following a trend instead of leading it. That's okay. Oh my god. Diversity still matters, but don't expect to see Miles Morales. Miles Morales. Since the massive success of 2018's Black Panther, Marvel Studios made a concerted effort to produce projects centered around women, people of color, and LGBT characters. Those titles include Captain Marvel, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, The Marvels, and Captain America: Brave New World. In the film, WandaVision, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk: Eternal Law, Secret Invasion, Echo, and Agatha all along. Yeah, you're gonna get the Chuds upset. The MCU for you, Red. Several of these projects have been successful, but many have not, commercially or critically. More to the point, with Marvel's decisions to gently reduce output, it's been unclear what they'll unclear. It's been unclear on what kind of future many of these characters will have in MCU, if any at all. Wow, wow. Okay, you're gonna kill him. Okay. Pressed on this question, Fire appeared unconcerned. Marvel represents the world outside your window, he said. I've always said, before DEI woke became a thing, and after DEI woke became a thing. Are we after? I don't think so. He singled out Miss Marvel and the Marvel star Imani Villani as one of the greatest bit of casting we've ever done, adding, I can't wait to see her somewhere. I don't. She was annoying as hell, man. Superman. Her version was annoying. I don't know why people like that. And don't come at me because you're saying that because she's whatever, right? No, I found her character annoying. Like I can't stand that. Oh, by the way, breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. It's confirmed. Confirmed. I'm gonna put it in the group chat. It's been confirmed. Jake Jake Schreier, the director of Thunderbolts, is gonna direct the X-Men. X-Men movie. Confirmed. Official. And the script is being no, it's not her doing moves. I just find her annoying. I mean, she is a teenager, so obviously, but so yeah, Jake Schreier, the Thunderbolts director, is directing X-Men, and the script is being written right now. So this movie is a long way off. Okay, this is a movie. This movie is a long way off. If they don't have a script, that means this movie may not be for another 3 to 4 years. And also, they might not have a script. They might just film this. But yeah, it's confirmation that Jake Schreier is directing X-Men. I put in the cult chat for you guys. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's continue on. Or I'll continue on. Where will that be much less evident? At the end of the Marvels, Vilanius Kamala Khan appeared to recruit Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop to be part of a young superhero team, but Feige danced around the question about whether Young Avengers, a film or TV special, is on the horizon. Yeah, he won't answer that. Potentially, he said. In that case, it comes out to where the best story and where the best strange alchemy who would be fun to see them with. Each others because that was Young Avengers are, but also mixing up more. Okay. More like I need a new backpack. Feige was more definite about potential of another highly anticipated Marvel character, Spider-Man's Miles Morales, showing up in the MCU in the near future. That is nowhere, he said, until Sony's Pictures, which holds the film rights to the character, completes its animated Miles trilogy in 2027. Spider-Man's Beyond the Spider-Verse. We've been told to stay away. So there you go. He can't use Miles Morales. The MCU can't use Miles Morales until you have to wait. You have to at least wait 3 or 4 years until his trilogy is wrapped up. And it's really up to Sony too. So I mean, Sony technically would be like they could come to some sort of agreement of using a live action version of Miles Morales. And still, well, the trilogy's not finished. But it seems like Sony's like, nah, we're not doing that. Continue with Tom Holland Spider-Man. Tom Holland Spider-Man still needs to shine as a post-high school version of Spider-Man. Cement himself as a post-high school version of Spider-Man. First. Then him taking on Miles Morales under his wing to tutelage will be the right direction to go. They kind of still have to build up. They still kind of have to finish Tom Holland Spider-Man's progression. Why don't they make a fourth Spider-Verse film? That's a good question. Good question. What if they do? So here's the thing. All this information is coming out because obviously Avengers Fantastic Four is leading to the Avengers Doomsday. But I think a lot of this stuff is coming out because they're not having a presentation at Comic-Con, right? They're not having a presentation at San Diego Comic-Con. So San Diego Comic-Con, they would usually give us they would usually tell us what's on the horizon, the future of the MCU. But since we're not getting a presentation from Marvel Studios, they're going to do it through the trades. And the stuff in the trades may not all be stuff in the trades may not be like what San Diego Comic-Con is going to present, but San Diego Comic-Con usually tells us what give us some next projects and stuff like that. But this is Marvel's last big movie of this year. So all this stuff coming out is just an idea of what the future has, right? Because we're not going to right? Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man New Days a year from now, Avengers Doomsday. So there's not a lot. I mean, they usually don't talk about this stuff. Kevin Feige will not open about the future of the MCU when it comes to like Wonder Man or Daredevil. That's more of Brad Winderbaum's and forte because he's he runs that stuff. I mean, with Kevin Feige, but we'll see, man. We'll see. No, he did not. He did not. Sideways. He did not. The Marvel method is here to stay. It just won't be quite as expensive. So they're reducing the budget. If Miss Marvel is leading the team, yeah, it should not be called Young Avengers because I'm sorry, if it's a Young Avengers team, I'm going with Hawkeye, Haley Steinfeld's character. She's older. She's older. You go with the older person. She's older. I'll go with her. Right? So the Marvel methods here stay. It just won't be quite as expensive. So they're reducing the budgets for some Marvel projects. Okay. DC Studios co-chief James Gunn has said to be pleased that he will only greenlight projects that have a complete script. That is pointed difference from Marvel Studios, which has sometimes announced projects with release dates before a writer has been hired, let alone before a script is completed, and famously rework movies throughout the filmmaking process. The Fantastic Four star Ebon Moss-Bachrach, which he told Variety that he didn't think the script was fully ready when the cast began 3 weeks of rehearsing before filming, so we were sort of workshopping the movie in a way. Hey man, amen. In wrestling, in wrestling, in wrestling, they get the script on the day of the show, an outline. They get it literally on the day of the show, and you have to get your lines. You have to try to remember your lines like that in wrestling. You're blinded, literally. Try going to wrestling business and try script writing for wrestling business or try memorizing lines for a promo for a vignette because you get the script on the day of the filming for wrestling stuff. Right, Degrassi. I mean, Degrassi knows, man. It's hard. And wrestling is hard. It's really, really hard. But Feige took issue with both comparisons between Gunn's mandate and DC and Marvel's approach, and the idea that Marvel need to radically alter how it makes its projects. We've never started a movie without a full script, and I've never been satisfied with the script that we had. He said, I've never been satisfied with the movie we release. I never been satisfied with the movie we released. Really? What does that mean? Wait a minute. I never been satisfied with the movie we released. So you never been satisfied with any Marvel movie? He defended Marvel's practice of posting projects at every turn as they're being made. Term of art referring to publish for instrumental improvements that Feige credit to Walt Disney. Actors, both of the ones that are playing these characters for the first or second time, and the characters playing them for the 10th or 12th time, are the best in the world at it and know these characters so well. Feige said, if they have an idea, you want to listen to it, and you want to adjust of it, and you want to improve, I wouldn't want to change it at all. I mean, do some of these actors really know? I mean, they play the characters long time. Do they really know? Or some of them just doing for a paycheck? Some of them you could tell in their interviews they don't understand. Oh, by the way, breaking news. Captain America and Iron Man are going to be recast. They're searching for a new searching for a new James Bond because of the super ability. So yeah, they're searching for a new Iron Man and new Captain America to be recast. Okay, so if they're looking for a new Captain America, Degrassi here. Degrassi, you're in the chat. Sam Wilson, is Mackie done? Is after Mackie to be done very soon with Marvel? Because he can't just go back to Falcon. I know in the comics you could do that, but is he gonna go? Is he willing to go back to being Falcon again? What happens to the other character, Jack? What's his name? Torres. Daniel Mears' character Torres. I forget his first name. It's like Jack something. What's his first name? But I know his last name is Torres. What happens to that character? So it's like, is Mackie getting ready to leave the MCU? Getting ready to leave. The comics is different, right? The comics is different. This is like. Joaquim, thank you. Joaquim Torres. Yeah, I knew it was over the J. I was thinking Jack, but I knew it was Spanish, right? It was Latin, right? So I knew it was right. It was Mexican, right? So I knew it was Spanish, a Spanish name. I just wasn't sure what. I knew the last name. Yeah, it sounds like a reboot. It does sound like a full-on reboot. All right. So I'm breaking this news as I'm getting. things are popping in as the stream is going, which is good. I like that. I like that. Okay. I forget where it was. Oh yeah, I read that paragraph. Oh my god. I know there are filmmakers. James, in my experience, isn't one of them. Maybe he is now. Who say if you want to be part of my movie, you just have to say the words and you'll stay here the entire schedule in case we need you. We have so many actors. We can't do that. We don't do that. We give people a window. We keep that to that window. I'm not saying that, Red. Red, you're not listening. You're still such a troll, Red. My number one troll. No, it's to be called Captain Mexico. Captain Mexico. Marvel has changed course at least one major aspect of its films, their cost. After budgets began to balloon following Endgame, partly due to the pandemic, partly due to the feeling the need to deliver a certain level of spectacle, the studio started grinding down the budget in 2023. Feige said Marvel's film most from Deadpool Wolverine through the Fantastic Four had been upwards of a third cheaper than they were 2 years before that. So 33% cheaper. Yeah, because the budgets yeah, you had to up the budgets definitely during the pandemic times because there's a lot of things there's a lot of things the pandemic had a lot of things the pandemic had definitely affected production, right? You had to spend more money on safety and protocols, stuff like that. And a lot more green screen, CGI, VFX instead of filming in like actually outside. A lot of studio filming. Feige said Marvel executives even met with teams behind the 2023 scientific effect the creator, which director Garth Edwards made a staggeringly low $80 million to learn how they pulled it off. Oh, I thought I was gonna say Captain Mariachi. Captain Tony, Tony, Frog Tony. Um. Oh, I thought they were looking at Garth Edwards to direct a Marvel movie. You think Garth Edwards could do a good Marvel movie? Hi, RJ. uh. Oh, what else I'm gonna do? All right, let's continue. I think everybody in that state of mind, at least Disney, Feige said a belt tightening. I think it has to get better. Is AI gonna do that? I don't know. The MCU's future won't be in Hollywood. Don't look for the Avengers to set up shop in Los Angeles anytime soon. I don't think the MCU filmed much in Los Angeles anyway. Anyway, the super teams next to Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars are being produced in London's Pinewood Studios, the latest in a long line of big budget Hollywood films to decamp for the UK. The movie has left many industry waiting to learn about one-way production and mentions that President Trump briefly embraced when the fluid idea of imposing tariffs on foreign-made blockbusters. Oh man. Oh man. Oh yeah. Feige said the decision to make new movies overseas as opposed to in Georgia, where many previous Marvel films have been shot, came down to space, not just the UK generous subsidies. NAS subsidies. I mean, you could shot Marvel movies in New York or whatever. New York is there's reason why. There was a time which is not right now, but there was a time where we made a deal 5 or 6 years ago where everybody was fighting for the stage space and the expectation of not just but everybody. Feige said referencing an explosion in production that accompanied the streaming revolution. So we had the opportunity to lock up Pinewood, which is why many of our movies will be there for foreseeable future. You know what? The MCU slate. There really is no slate, man. I don't know about delayed release date, man. I don't know. Um, the slate is the same, man. The slate hasn't changed. The slate hasn't changed. The slate is the same. Fantastic Four, okay. Then Wonder Man, Daredevil, Punisher Special, Spider Man, Vision's Crest, and then Doomsday. Slate hasn't really changed. And then 2027, all we know about 2027 is Secret Wars. That's the slate right now. It hasn't changed. He did not announce a new movie or a new Disney Plus show. He just okay. But yes, Toronto here has Pinewood Studios, and he said they're going to shoot in Toronto too, in Canada too. I mean, yeah, here in Pinewood Studios, we have that too. We have that studio here. It's not Pinewood Studios is not in America. There's no Pinewood Studios in America, but it's in London, England, and Toronto. I think it might be in Vancouver, but it's also in Canada. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm waiting for Fantastic Four Step, seeing it Thursday. Okay. Um, right. He predicted that future Marvel films would be shot in the U.S., particularly in the production hubs like Georgia and New York, that offer more competitive film incentives in California, which recently passed a new $750 million production tax credit. So they plan to go back eventually. Okay. My career of making these big moves, very few of them post the Phase 1 movies have been here, and they moved because of the cost. Feige said, there is one exception, however, where Wonder Man, which takes place in Hollywood, was filmed in the entertainment capital. I like budget reasons. I like budget reasons. Budget reasons. Kang is kaput, of course. But what about Charles Theron and the Eternals? All right. In March 2023, a month after Jonathan Majors played the arch-villain Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the actor was arrested for the assault and harassment of his then-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Kang had been touted as the Thanos of the multiverse saga and set to headline his own film, Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, which was set up to sequels. But the day Majors was convicted on 2 misdemeanor counts of harassment and assault, Marvel announced it was parting ways with the actor. Following July, the Marvel studio revealed that Robert Downey Jr. was returned to the MCU to play the even arch villain Doctor Doom in what has been I can't say that requested. I'll say rebranded as Avengers Doomsday. Avengers Doomsday. But this Friday revealed that the studio had grown wary of Kang's half of the character before Quantumania hit theaters. Yeah, this is what I call bull. This is where I believe it's bullshit. I don't believe it's at all, but we started to realize that Kang wasn't big enough, wasn't Thanos, and that there was only one character that could be that because he was that in the comics for decades and decades. He said, we started talking about Doctor Doom even before we officially pivoted from Kang. In fact, I started talking about Robert about his audacious idea before Ant-Man even came out. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't believe that for a second. I think that's damage control. Okay, you were building up Kang Dynasty. If that's the case, if you're so worried about Kang being not, you're so worried about Kang, not to be an established type villain. Why would you keep the post-credit scene in Ant-Man Quantumania? With all you saw was variants of Kang, one with Tut, Sectarian. Why would you keep that post-credit scene if you had second thoughts about Kang not being the Thanos of the multiverse saga? And that's I don't believe that for a second. I think that's damage control. I think that's damage control. I think that's damage control. I don't believe that for a second. If that was the case and you were thinking of pivoting, you should have took that scene out. And sorry, like, and also, yeah, I mean, there's the other variant that we saw in Loki. Yeah, no, I don't buy that for a second, man. I don't buy that for a second. And you're only gonna have Doctor Doom for possibly two movies, maybe a cameo in maybe a after credit scene in Fantastic Four. I'm not saying it's happening. I'm not saying it's happening. I'm not saying it's not happening. Exactly. Like, I don't believe that for a second. Oh wait, I'm gonna invite Blinded in. Bullshit. Bullshit. I don't believe that for a second. Um, okay. With Charlie Clea, Brett Goldstein's Hercules, Harry Styles, Star Fox, Sasha Banks, Cole Mephisto again later. Do you want to see him? Do you want to see him again? Fire ass playfully. Oh my god. Do you want to see him again? That's fun to me, he said. Let's talk again in 12 years and see who comes back. Oh my god. What about other major characters, Moon Knights or the Eternals? Would they return? I don't know if there's any specific one you just named, but yes, there's part of a planning. Characters reintroduced post anime will pop up again in some upcoming movies and beyond, Feige said. The fun of comics is anyone pop up anywhere. Yeah, but like, okay. Do the actors want to? Exactly, Kevin. He's lying here. When it can't beat up his wife. Alright, that's alright, so okay. I'm gonna look at the other bookmark. First out of variety of no, this is the which one is this? This is variety. So let me look at my other bookmark I have. All right, so I have this Hollywood Reporter. Is it the same one? No. Okay, okay. All right, no, it's not. Okay. All right, so I'll be right back. I kind All right, I'm back. Let's read this. All right. Marvel's Kevin Feige talks sealing back, losing Kang and his text to James Gunn after Superman. I hope I don't have to pay for it. I'll get with this. All right. Okay. Define success for Clayface and Supergirl. I don't know. I don't know. Supergirl, I don't think will make as much as Superman. Uh, a non-script conference Zoom room on the very distant floor of Marvel Studios. Full size of Iron Man statues, superhero murals, and movie props. And a padlock door. Behind that padlock door is a whiteboard featuring plan for Marvel movies spanning the next 7 years. So teased Marvel Studios Kevin Feige in the producer behind the most successful run of movies in Hollywood history as he welcomed a select group of journalists into the same room where he first met Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, and where filmmaker Chloe Zhao pitched her take on Eternals. Okay. Alright, so let's continue on. Marvel's one has been tested of late. This year, especially with Thunderbolts and Captain America Brave New World, which grossed among the lowest totals for the company. But Feige isn't interested in your theories of superhero fatigue, which he doesn't buy as real. He pointed out the DC Studios Superman, which is doing strong at the box office, at least domestically. Well, James Gunn, on the other end, feels like there is a bit of a fatigue. So they have two opposite viewpoints on superhero fatigue. The question is, who's right? Is Gunn right or is Feige right? Gunn, Feige said he texted filmmaker James Gunn to let him know how much he liked it. Text. Just call him, man. Hey James, I like your movie a lot, especially that blah blah blah. Don't fucking text. Just call him. I love how you just jump right into it. Fight enthusiast of the film, which Gunn directed. He helmed 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies for Marvel before decamping to one DC Studios. You don't know who Mr. Terrific is? Tough. You'll figure it out. Oh, I read that already. You don't know what this is. Okay. Okay. We'll find the Blade stuff. We didn't want to have Eternals issue. Okay. Issue. Okay. One thing that Feige seemed to relish is that the new movie is mostly self-contained and it's fully fleshed world where it doesn't require that dreaded word homework. Homework. Yeah, Red does my homework. Yeah. I'm kidding. Red doesn't do he. Should Red do my homework for me? Yeah, nobody's nobody's believing the nobody's believing the Jonathan Majors stuff from Kevin Feige. Nobody's falling for that shit. Nobody believes that. I don't. Nobody's falling for that. Okay. Hiding the 1960s aesthetic, there was more than just a period piece choice. It was a unique aesthetic that felt like it could absolutely be in its own world, its own reality, and we show it to the audience in the screening process that we do leading up to it. People just accept it right off the bat and feel liberated that they can just enjoy what's ahead of them. He underscores is no homework required. No homework, guys. I piss on it and I make you turn into your teacher right now after. In a freewheeling discussion with journalists, Feige wearing a blue Fantastic Four hoodie and a Wonder Man cap opened up a range of topics from what's going on with Blade, his future at Marvel, and the exit of Jonathan Majors from the MCU. Okay. Yes, here's what Hollywood put it. Yes, Feige knows Marvel made too many movies and shows and the other things they did wrong. Okay, I read this part about how many hours from the multiverse saga they accumulated and how many post multiverse saga, post Endgame, how much hours accumulated, including if you include the animation too. So yeah, 50 hours in the Endgame in the Infinity Saga, 102 hours live action post Endgame, 127 post Endgame if you include animation. That's a lot. That's a lot. Eric July will be Luke Cage to the MCU. Yes, he will. That's alright. That's too much. Okay. Alright. Here's why Thunderbolts failed, even though it's very, very good. A lot of the stuff I read in this quote, nothing but Armor Wars. Nothing. Nothing. A lot of stuff I read in this article, I read from the Variety article, but there's some other stuff in it. Um, Math. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. This is not important. Where is the Blade stuff? I talked about Jonathan Majors. Talked about this. Talked about Miles Morales with you guys. So Blade, I don't think I talked to you about in detail Blade. Okay. So Blade is being sharpened again. Again. You know, I'm like saying that word. What's the hold up with Blade? Well, the obstacle was Ryan Coogler called and said, we have some costumes for sinners. And we said, take them, man. We love some costumes for sinners. And we said, take them, man. He's our good friend. Take our costumes. We'll hold off on the movie. Oh, my God. You should have said, no, fuck you. You should have said, fuck you, Ryan Coogler. This is for our movie. Oh, Michael Waldron, that's not good. Working on. Mo, yeah, he's just wearing Wonder Man hat. That's all, right? Five was a joking, connecting sinners to the version of Blade that was recently being developed. One was set in Prohibition era, just like Coogler's original hit earlier this year. Feige confirmed that there has been 4 takes on Blade that have been developed over recent times, 2 that were period, 2 that were not. Marvel has now landed on modern day, and yes, Marshall Ali is still attached. He didn't reveal a timeline for Blade, but he did say that he and Coogler have a timeline for Black Panther 3. So they said Blade is going to be modern times, like our time, modern times. He did do Loki and he did do Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. And the weak part of Multiverse of Strange Madness was the writing. Okay. All right. So Blade looks like a Blade. They're still doing a new Blade, but Black Panther is definitely farther along. And Black Panther 3 is farther along, and it looks like Black Panther 3 is they have a timeline. So Black Panther 3, that's most likely to be an untitled movie that is scheduled to come out 2027. All right, I talked about this. All right, that's nothing here. Stephen McFeely is writing the script, but Feige revealed that Loki creator Michael Waldron is also helping. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. If Michael Waldron's helping, just now we're there for the X-Men stuff. Be right back. Oh, it's a deadline article? Fuck. You know what? I'll bring this one up. It's another one. Another one. This is from Variety, okay? Doctor Strange 3? Nothing. Nothing about it. Nothing about Doctor Strange 3, man. And Ryan Coogler is going to direct Black Panther 3. That's obvious. That's obvious. Alright. So yeah, alright. Okay, another Variety article for you guys. For you guys. For you guys. Alright, for you guys. Alright. Marvel plans to recast the X-Men eventually. Tony Stark Avengers after Secret Wars, but a reboot is a scary word, says Kevin Feige. So okay. The X-Men are coming to Marvel Cinematic Universe, and an all-new Tony Stark will eventually join them. In a rousing conversation with the press on Friday, Marvel says blah 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 confirmed. Marvel Studios chief Feige confirmed that following the events of 2027's Secret Wars, the company will recast superpowered mutants for the upcoming X-Men movie, directed by Jake Schreier. So it is confirmed. Yeah, Jake Schreier. I did say that. Okay. Many actors who starred in X-Men movies in the 2000s are reprising their roles in 2026 Avengers movie, including Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Adam Cumming, Rebecca Romaine, James Marsden, and Kelsey Grammer. Stewart also played Charles Xavier in 2022, Doctor Strange Multiverse Man, and Grammer reappeared as Hackman McCoy in the post-credit scene of 2023, the Marvels. In future films, however, X-Men characters who appeared in the previous movies will be played by new actors, along with mutants making their big screen debut. The decision echoes changes in the composition of the Marvel Comics following 2015 Secret Wars storylines, which involved multiple times collapsing and reconverging, mixing up the characters of the main Marvel timeline and process. We're realizing the story, not just to round up stories we've been telling it post-Endgame, just as important as you can look at the Secret Wars comic for where it takes you. It's very, very much sets up the future fight. So Endgame, literally, it was about endings. Secret Wars is about beginnings. So Secret Wars is not the Endgame's a conclusion. Secret Wars is kind of a conclusion but a small conclusion in the beginning. So it's really a beginning. Yeah, it'll be the beginning. Thunderbolt's director is doing X-Men. I know he is. I said that. Okay, what else is there? All right, let's continue. But Feige was also careful not to characterize the changes as reboot. Instead, executive said Secret Wars will serve as a reset for the MCU. Reset is dangerous. Reset is a more. The word reset is starting from scratch. When you reset something, that's not like. That's starting from the beginning. That's not a soft reboot. Resetting is not a soft. It's not a reboot, man. That's a hard reboot. That's a hard reboot. If we set a singular timeline, we're thinking along those lines there. So A reset is basically starting from scratch again at the beginning. When you reset something, right? That's what it is. That's a dangerous word, man. That's gonna be something. And also, I have feelings that X-Men will be the first film of Phase 7 in a saga. Yeah, me too. I think so too. Uh, Feige knows that the X-Men comics were their focus on Xavier's skills could give the youngsters naturally centered on stories about adolescent characters. They've been a place to tell stories about young people who feel different and feel other and who feel like they don't belong. He said, "Universal story mutants, and that's where we're going." Yeah, but people want to see. I mean, people want to see the cool X-Men. Even more intriguing, Feige also indicated that the other Marvel characters will eventually be recast, including the most iconic roles like Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. So yeah, wow. So yeah, like I said, Tony Stark and Steve Rogers are going to be recast. He pointed out many other major film franchises that have done the same thing multiple times over and over. I'm telling you, whoever is going to be the new Tony Stark, good luck. That's major shoes to fill, man. Good luck. Good luck, man. Good luck. Whoever is going to be the next Wolverine, good luck. Who's ever going to be the next Captain America, good freaking luck. Good fucking luck, man. Good luck with that. Amy Pascal and David Hummer are now searching for new James Bond, Feige said, referring to the producers. Yeah, I mean, he's looking for a new actor. So they're actually looking. They're doing that now. They're so in the process of looking for actors to be the new Captain America and the new Tony Stark. So they're in the process of that doing right now. Awesome. It's not something they're doing down the line. They're doing it currently right now. Philly knows that stars who retired the original MCUs, like Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, have made it difficult to imagine anyone else in their characters. But it is an impossible task. It is not an impossible task for studios, but from a fan standpoint, people grow with these actors in these roles. They're going to have a tougher time. They're going to have a tougher time. You're gonna have a tougher time accepting it. Fantastic Four after Secret Wars, it'll probably be the same team. Nothing will change to them. They'll probably be in a singular timeline with the mutants, Avengers. I mean, yeah. So like, it's like that's the thing though. Like, they may not have an issue or problem recasting those roles. It's just that fans, it's gonna be harder for fans to accept somebody else portraying these characters that were portrayed by such iconic actors for some time. I think like I think it is hard for anybody to do what an actor has done such a great role. He said, "How are they ever going to replace Sean Connery, James Bond?" Right? Yeah, he's right. He's definitely right. At least two legacies of may still yet appear in MCU as well. Isabel's plans for fall to the Marvel 2024 blockbuster Wolverine with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman fighting in a typical fashion made no definite statements, but also did not close off any possibility. I think there's more fun to be had with both of those characters. He said, but we'll see where. Okay. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff here, huh? A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. A lot of things here to cover, man. Oh man, they should reboot Ant Man in the Wasp Hawk. Ah, no, I don't think Degrassi's here. I think he left because I think he's seeing a double feature today. So I know he's seeing Superman and Fantastic Four today, so he may not be here in the chat. Oh man, this is a lot to cover. A lot to cover. Oh, Slater. You know what's funny? You know what's funny? On the DC side of things, James Gunn has teased they might announce a new DCU show uh, in a couple days. In a couple days. Wow. Wow. How do I feel about this, guys? Want to know my thoughts about this? Overall thoughts? Well, for one thing, it's a lot. Yeah, Vision Crash is done filming. Yeah, I know that. This is a lot. Feige has definitely given us a lot of the future of the MCU. Post Secret Wars. Right? It's given us a state of the MCU, the future of the MCU, where the MCU is heading after Secret Wars, updates of some movies, some characters, the past, where the things in the past where it didn't work. You know, the overabundance of so many stuff coming out at once. The talked about super fatigue. Talked about Superman. You know, congratulating his friend James Gunn. Man, this is a lot. This is a lot to take in. This had to be a stream and not a video because I can't make a video. This video would be so fucking long if I made a video on this. It'd be too long if I made a video. Really, it would be. And Superman is making a total between 640 million. Well, on pace, 640 to 700 million. Which I said Superman would make between 500 million and 700 million. And I think the Fantastic Four is going to be the same. I do think Superman and Fantastic Four could possibly be the same range. Okay. I wonder what show he's getting out. It might be the Waller show. It might be a Waller show. It might be the Waller show. I'm gonna say it's the Waller show, or it's either Waller or Booster Gold. It's either one of those shows. I hope he's coming home. All right. But yeah, if I made this a video, it'd be so long. I don't think I could do it. I don't like making long videos. But there's a lot of stuff here to cover. Man, the future MCU reboot, reset. XMen going forward. Miles Morales. Confirmation of who's directing the XMen movie. Jonathan Majors situation. Blade update. The Wallet show. You meant Waller. I'm just joking. So much shit to cover. It's bonkers what came out today about the future of the DCU. No, MCU. Recasting of Iron Man and Tony. Recasting Tony Stark, Iron Man, and Captain America. Oh man. It's a lot. It's a lot to cover. All right. Since I went solo, covered most of the stuff I wanted to cover. I want to thank you guys for listening. Do me a favor. Like, love. No, I'm kidding. Love this chat. Love this stream. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Please do all that. Comment below for sure. I'll be back again Tuesday. I think I'm going to watch Slammiversary because AJ Styles is back. But take care, guys.